Welcome. We're having a conversation. I'm Selina Bliss, candidate for Arizona State House of Representatives. And we have here with us Steve Irwin, another candidate. So Steve, tell us about the position you're running for.
Well, I'm currently the district government board member for my district, which is District 5. My term's coming to an end, and so I'm running for Yavapai County District 5 Board of Supervisors.
You know, I was a past president of the Faculty Association, so I remember very well you sitting on our board at the college. So
Right.
Thank you for your years of service there.
Thank you.
Steve, I've lived here a while. Tell us more about yourself and your time here in Prescott.
Well, thanks. So I retired from the Army in 1991. We can live anywhere in the world, but we wanted to live in Prescott because that's where our family's from. And so been here 34 years now. Since I've been here, I attended Yavapai College. I taught at Yavapai College. I worked for the county for the juvenile probation program, juvenile detention. I did some time with the state. I did all the Medicaid audits for long-term care. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And now my wife hired me to be her assistant in her real estate company. And so that's what I'm doing.
All right, Steve, one candidate to another. I have to ask, what motivates you to run?
Well, a lot of things. You know, I love our community. We've been here over 34 years. The ideal that my kids go to school, we pay taxes for them to attend school, we pay taxes for them to attend college, offset some of that cost. But then once they graduate from high school or college, there's really no sustainable jobs here. You cannot buy a house and raise a family on starvation wages. So we actually are exporting our kids to other markets like Phoenix or California. So in a sense, we're supplementing their economy with a young working adult taxpayer. So that's a huge issue. I believe in a safe community. We're growing so fast. We get a lot of negative elements coming into the area from other states. And so I'd like to be able to ensure that we have the quality of life, great schools, and jobs so our kids don't have to move out of the area.
Appreciate that. We call that brain drain at the college.
That's right.
When we educate and graduate, our graduates then have to leave town to get a fair wage and attainable housing.
And our taxpayers paid for that college to be there.
Exactly.
So in a sense, they're offsetting the cost of that person's education.
Yes, exactly. So tell me more about what's motivating you to run. You've discussed education.
Right. Education's important. Since I'm a conservative Republican, a great defender of the Second Amendment, as most people know about me. I own my own company. So local economy, I think that we're not doing enough to help people run small businesses. The fastest growing segment of the American economy is small business. And I don't see the county doing anything to help that.
So you're ready to step up and serve. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I did almost 6 years on the college board.
Steve, let's talk about some of your role in political activism, if you will. Now, I've heard you're president of the Highway 69 Club. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So the official name is the Highway 69 Republican and Conservatives. It's a great club. It was founded years and years ago by one of our former supervisors. The club had shut down, was closed for 4 or 5 years. A lot of supporters, people had heard I wanted to run for the Board of Supervisors, asked me to revise it. I did. We have well over 100 members now. We sponsor a monthly meeting. It's usually the second Tuesday of every month. We meet at the Step 1 Coffee House, 5:30 5 to 7 now. It's our 2-hour time slot. And we invite all the candidates to come out and educate our group.
Wonderful opportunity for Republicans and others interested in what we're doing as a Republican Party to get together.
Well, and we're not just restricted to just Republicans. Anyone in the community can come. It's absolutely free. We love to share ideals. But most of the people that attend are Republicans and conservatives.
Great. And I hear your wife makes some awesome baked goods, so
She
I know I like attending.
That's absolutely correct.
Right, Steve, as you go into this position, what do you see as the biggest wastes, if you will, for county government?
Well, you know, I'm all about accountability. And I remember when I worked for the county and when I worked for the federal government and the state government, long about September is what you see is that all the departments have a little bit of excess cash left over that, quite frankly, if they don't spend it, they won't get it next year's budget. And so I think there's waste there because if it was needed, it would be spent throughout the year as needed. And so I'd like to really look at that. One of the biggest problems or the biggest complaint I hear by far is development services. Great department. These guys work hard. They work long hours. But in reality, sometimes it takes up to 90 days to get a build permit. And it's just time's money, especially in an area that's growing so rapidly that we are. So I'd like to see how we can possibly streamline that process, maybe move it online so that when a really good builder puts in a permit, he can literally start building within weeks instead of months.
Wow, it sounds like you really understand the issues. Thank you, Steve. How can we find out more about your campaign?
I'm online at steveirwinforsupervisor.com and Facebook at Steve Irwin for Supervisor.
Well, thank you for sharing.